GMO stands for genetically modified organisms, and it's the process where scientists or engineers can introduce DNA into an organism in order for it to carry out a function that's useful for people. One of the major misconceptions about GMOs is that they disadvantage people in the developing world because they can't afford to use the GMOs, or they become beholden to rich Western-based companies in terms of paying an ongoing fee to grow crops to feed their local populations. There's also a general level of skepticism, let's say, about science and technology and GMOs, often in the developing world, maybe Africa and the Caribbean, that is in many ways justified historically due to events like the Tuskegee Airmen in the US that were infected with smallpox without their consent, and other commonly held misconceptions that create a level of distrust or doubt in biotechnology, let's say. There's a common misconception amongst the man in the street or person in the street that there's already a known cure for cancer and it's kept secret by the government. And all this combines together to bring about a skepticism about GMOs. And it's not just specific to the developing world. Obviously, Scotland, which has some of the world's leading universities, has got laws quite restrictive about GMOs, and the European Union also. Well, the opportunities are to engage with companies and technologists and to encourage people to enter careers in biotechnology or biochemical engineering, to actually become participant in the technology and take ownership and become empowered by it, rather than feel that it's something done by external enterprises only or Western companies only. So the opportunities are there to take a role in the biotechnology industry, and there's a number of reasons why that's kind of growing worldwide. There's things like DIY biology, and so a lot of the tools to participate in biotechnology are now becoming much cheaper and more accessible globally. There are people in California that are trying to attempting to develop making insulin independent of large pharmaceutical companies. That's one example, but generally communities are becoming more empowered worldwide to become participants in the biotechnology industry. Part of the story of GMOs and let's say the developing world, which is underway right now, is a kind of debate as to whether GMOs are an acceptable technology or not. And I would put forward the message that people should become not afraid of GMOs, but start to participate and maybe just increase their knowledge so that they can have greater ownership and awareness of the issues. Examples of this process include GMO bananas in Uganda, a particular variety to make the local dish matoke. And there was significant efforts to introducing a GMO banana variety, but in the end it was kind of headed off and not given government approval due to, in part, external non-governmental organizations and also local groups that felt that they were not approving of GMO. Similarly, there are sentiment, let's say, some places, for instance Jamaica, where there are crops that can't be grown because of their susceptibility to pests, and even if GMO versions of those crops are available, there's a strong sentiment to overcome in terms of people's readiness to adopt the technology. So I would encourage young people to pursue careers in biochemical engineering or biotechnology at university, to get all the knowledge, and it's also a degree that gives you a lot of transferable skills into other sectors. I'd also say, for those skeptics out there that have relatives and friends that are from a science and technology background, to actually give them some time and respectful opportunities to discuss GMOs, and maybe with a more open mind. I know myself and others, we tend after a while to maybe keep quiet about our scientific background or enter into those debates or shy away from those debates. But it's important for people to talk to each other, and you never know, you may be, if not persuaded, it's certainly given more knowledge from which to base your views of things like GMOs in future.